Hello friend, this is the next class, phylum Chordata, class Pisces. This is the classification of class Pisces, phylum Chordata. In class Pisces, first specimen is Petromyzon, commonly known as sea lamprey. Next one is Ammoset larva. This is the larva of Petromyzon. This is the figure of Petromyzon. Next figure is Ammoset larva. Next one is Pisces. Pisces, commonly known as sawfish. Next one is Astrape torpedo. This is the figure of Pisces. Saw-like structure, saw-like mouth. Next one is Astrape torpedo. Next one, Scoliodon. Scoliodon is also known as dogfish. This is the Chimera, commonly known as king of herrings, or ghost fish, or rat fish, because it appears like as rat. This is the figure of Scoliodon. This is the classification of Scoliodon. Next one is scales. First cycloid scale, next ganoid scale. This is the figure of cycloid scale. This is the figure of ganoid scale. Next scale is ctenoid scale, characteristic of modern higher teleosteans. Next one is accipenser, commonly known as sturgeon. This is the figure of ctenoid scale. Next, this is the figure of accipenser. This is the classification of accipenser. This is Lepidosteus. Next one is hippocampus, commonly known as sea horse, दरियाई घोड़ा. This is the figure of Lepidosteus. This is classification of Lepidosteus. Next, this is the sea horse, hippocampus. This is Angula, commonly known as eel, found throughout India, lives in marshes and rivers. Next one is Exocetus, flying fish. This is the figure of Angula. This is the figure of Exocetus, flying fish. This is Antinarius, commonly known as anglerfish or frogfish. or devilfish. This is Pleuronictis. Then this is the figure of Antinarius. This is the figure of Pleuronictis. This is Anabas, commonly known as climbing perch. This is Clarius batrachus. This is the figure of Anabas testudinus. This is the classification of Anabas. This is the Labio rohita, commonly known as Rohu. Neoceratodus, commonly known as Australian lungfish. This is the figure of Rohu fish. This is the figure of Neoceratodus, commonly known as Australian lungfish.